take a minute to show you our inline trolling weight. Now you can rig this two ways. Here I have the trolling weight with about 5 feet of leader in front of, in this case, a Hogy Perfect trolling tube. But you can also connect the tube directly to the snap. Now this sinker is not messing around in the sense that it has 3 ball bearing swivels built into it. And in this case, you have a ball bearing swivel built into the tube. Now, why is this important? When you're trolling, particularly with the tubes, but many other lures, spin can sometimes happen when you're trolling. And having these ball bearing swivels incorporated into the running line really help minimize line twist. Now, any Hogy product that has a swivel built into it, it's going to be a ball bearing swivel. So this isn't necessary, but if you're going to be doing a long day of trolling, it is nice just to have that extra redundancy with the ball bearing swivels. Now we're here in Cape Cod Bay, it's greasy calm, which is why I like the leader in front of the lure. The fish, it's a super calm day. The fish have better access to the visibility of the tube. And so I just take the time to add a 4 or 5 foot piece of fluoro in between the sinker and the tube. But on rougher conditions, if you just want a quick fix, you can certainly connect it directly. Now, when you're trolling tube and worm, there's often a teaser that gets put on the back of the tube. There's products out there such as fish bites. Some people put a small piece of squid or a little tip of eel, even a little small salt plastic. I'm old school when it comes to trolling, and I like to have a sea worm to put on the back. And here I have, fresh from Mako's, a live sea worm. Just came in from Maine. That's where these guys come from. And so I'm gonna let this out. Now this is a hot dog day of summer. So again, that extra leader and the lighter leader in this case, sometimes I'll use upwards of 60-pound test leader when I'm trolling. I've downsized to 40-pound test fluoro. And as you can see, that sinker is a good ways ahead of the tube. That tube is so big and juicy, they're not going to see that weight. This fish will be keyed in on the bait itself. Never had an issue with visibility of a trolling sinker. And so I'm letting it out. I like to let it out a little slow when it first gets out, because these sinkers are that teardrop shape, so effective at getting down quickly. You don't want to get the sinker ahead of the lure. But once you get out 10 or 15 feet, you can speed up how quickly you let the line out. But I would equate this trolling sinker to be the equivalent of trolling with about 125 feet of lead core. So I feel like you have zero depth compromises between this and lead core, which is super handy. This outfit also switch hits for me is a ground fishing rod, offshore for cod or for fluke in deeper water. I'll even jig, vertical jig for big stripers with this outfit. So having the utility of that trolling sinker to let this outfit both be a jigging rod, a bottom fishing rod, and a trolling rod, really opens up the possibilities of just one outfit and minimizes the gear you need to bring on a trip. So we just went over a pot of fish. What happens is you go over structure, and Dave's going to keep trolling. In just a minute, he's going to take it out of gear. Well, there we go. Fish on. There we go. Well, that didn't take long. Got a normal amount of line out, about 125 feet of braid with the trolling weight. I think we got a bass here. Nice fish. Here he comes. So here's the one step with the trolling weight, is you can't reel that through the guide. So I'm going to put the rod in the holder. There we go. You'll notice that I'm supporting the fish by its belly. I'm gonna not bring it into the boat because we're gonna release this fish today. But that is a textbook example on how to troll with lead core in deeper water with a tube and worm with the help of a trolling weight. So Dave's gonna put this boat just in idle. I'm gonna put this fish back in the water. Now, whenever possible, if I'm gonna release a fish, I leave it in the water, and there it goes. Sometimes in the hot days, hottest parts of the summer, you'll need to revive the fish just at idle speed while the fish gets the chance to get its bearings and oxygen back in the blood. But we caught that fish so close to the boat, it came right in. Needless to say, that fish was very active. But you know, anytime you want to release a fish, whenever possible, it's great to keep the fish in the water. If you're going to take it out, you always want to support the belly and just take good care of the fish. And you know, hopefully those fish will be around for you the next time. So this is a new outfit for me this year. I had a few of these custom made for me. I would call this sort of a hybrid jigging trolling rod. It's 5.5 feet. It's got an oversized cork foregrip, which makes fighting fish very comfortably. I can brace my reel. It's easy, it's ergonomic. The long butt is good to have in the holder. The long butt is also good for vertical jigging if you're speed jigging or slow pitching. The long butt gives you a lot of options, fits in the rod holder, but the rod itself is only 5.5 feet, which makes it very ergonomic to just simply have in the boat if you want to get rid of gear, cluttering your deck. If those who fish with me know how minimalist I am with my gear. I try to have as little on board as possible. 5.5 foot outfit can fit in just about any head of any center console. Easily fits in the back of a truck. These outfits are just very easy, very convenient. They have a gimbal mount put on them, which makes it ideal for trolling, but it also makes it sit properly in a leaning post when you're cruising 30 knots to the fishing ground. Now, there's no roller guides to mess anything up. Knots go through super easily. It has a very soft parabolic bend. It's a graphite rod, but it's a relatively low modulus graphite rod, which means it's very forgiving. So if you're fighting a fish and the boat's rocking, rather than immediately coming straight, if you get a little slack, it's going to slowly bend. So it's going to be very forgiving while fighting a fish. It's a great rod, just a great multi-purpose rod. Now, this is an outfit that would do very well with lead core trolling, but today, this is the outfit I was using ground fishing for cod the other day. So I just brought the outfit and I put the new Hogy trolling weight on. We're getting just down to the same depth with this trolling weight in the light tackle tube. So to me, this is the ultimate hybrid rod. It can cast, it can jig, it can troll. I even use this outfit offshore when trolling for school-sized tuna. I feel like this rod maxes out, tuna about 60 pounds on trolling gear. But I'll vertically jig with jigs up to 12 ounces on this, no problem. Trolling tubes, troll plugs, perfect squids. I'll even troll swimming plugs for bonito. It's a very soft, very forgiving outfit. So having a nice hybrid utility rod is great. Today I'm fishing with Captain Dave Peros, a good friend of mine who's a fly guy, light tackle enthusiast. So Dave having a couple of rods like this kicking around his tackle inventory, if he gets a family or a special situation, he can do almost anything with it. So it's just a versatile rod. I've added these into my collection of gear. It's helped me lower how many rods I need to keep on in and out, so it makes my garage a little more manageable. So my whole methodology where I'm at with fishing is fewer outfits, fewer lures, wider breadth in terms of purposes and utility.